And if you are someone that does this, that goes about people's videos and tries to find out who the ones are that are faking it, I honestly want to know why. Why would you do that? Because as someone with Tourette's who is part of a Tourette's community, if you're doing it for us, please don't. We don't need that. Honestly, we're fine. Everyone's tics are going to be different. Everyone's Tourette's is going to be different. And those tics and Tourette's will not stay the same forever. But I think we can all agree that cutting someone open when you have a neurological disorder, if there are people that are able to do that and they are not faking it, then perhaps it's a bit silly to just assume that just because someone has some level of success, they are probably faking or whatever. With Tourette's becoming more well-known and the fact that artists like Billie Eilish have come out with their Tourette story and content creators like that trippy hippie Sweet Anita getting more and more of a following, there's also this trend and this movement of people trying to find out who is faking their Tourette's. So let's answer that question. How can you see if someone is faking their tics? Simple answer, you can't. Okay, that's it. End of the video. Today I'm going to make that video that I actually wanted to make last week about how you can tell that someone is faking Tourette's. If you are new here, hi, my name is Luca and I have Tourette's and I make videos about what it's like to live with Tourette's, what tics are like, all that stuff. So if you are interested in learning more about that, please subscribe, that'd be appreciated a lot. And yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Fuck, I've been sat here in front of this camera just not knowing how to start, because that strong statement that I just made at the beginning of this video did sound a lot better before the whole thing of last week happened. If you haven't seen that video, first of all, it'll be in the icon card, in the card above. But the short of it is that there's a trend on TikTok where people are faking tic attacks, and not very well either, and it's a very toxic movement. And I'm not talking about that. I mean, I'm not talking about people clearly taking the piss, just pretending there's an extreme to that, and that falls in an extreme. I'm talking about a friend, someone on the internet, anyone that has Tourette's, that says that they have Tourette's, and the amount of comments and backlash and investigation into whether or not they are faking it. And I stand by my argument that unless you are that person's neurologist, psychiatrist, or that person themselves, you cannot know. And I know that there will be people that say, yeah, but what if, and still, no, you can't tell. So in this video, I want to go over some of the most common counter arguments that I've seen in comment sections. This is not an exhaustive list. Of course, if you have other examples, please let them know in the comments below. I think this would be a great way to educate people about this. Fuck. Hey. Uh-oh. Fuck. In this video, I won't go over what to do if you feel like you are faking your Tourette's. I will make another video about that. That's in the planning. I hope. I kind of want to do it next week to get this kind of like a small series about this subject, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Subscribe, ring the bell to get notified. But that video is definitely coming up as well. First main counter argument that I hear a lot when someone claims that someone is faking their tics is, well, they didn't have tics at first, or they only started having tics like a few months ago, so that's kind of suspicious. That's kind of suspicious. Or they only have tics when they are with friends or at night, or they never have tics in public, or they only have tics in public. I understand that it's weird to grasp that Tourette's can be this different constantly, but it is. Tourette's is a neurological disorder, and its main characteristic symptoms are tics, which can be motor tics, anything to do with movements, vocal tics, anything to do with sound. But those tics don't have to be there all of the time. They don't even have to be there every day. It's quite common for a person to not have tics for days and then all of a sudden get tics. It's also possible that people are holding in their tics. For example, when they go out in public. This is something I do. I usually don't have a lot of tics when I'm out in the shops. I'm able to suppress my tics, whereas others might be alright when they're on their own and not have loads of impulses, but the moment they go outside and there's all these people, that triggers their tics. And even though Tourette's usually starts when you are quite young, Tourette's can start at any age. Even though I know that in many of the official documentation it says you have to be under 18 for your tics to start. I know so many people with what's called adult onset Tourette syndrome, so you could literally wake up with tics. The fact that someone only just started to develop tics is not a reason that they are faking it. Fuck you. Number 2. I don't know. I mean, I never really see them tic, but they only really seem to tic when they start talking about their tics. Again, this is not in any way a sign that someone is faking their tics. Tourette's and tics are kind of like an itch. Just imagine having an itch all of the time, every single moment of your life. You can learn to suppress scratching it, but the moment you start thinking about it and start talking about it, that stuff is going to itch and you are going to want to scratch. But so it's quite common for someone, the moment they start talking about their Tourette's or start talking about tics or watch someone else that has tics online or in person, that will make their tics come out. But again, that's not for everyone. Some people don't have that. Again, everyone's Tourette's is different. Fuck you. Third one. With Tourette's becoming more well known and many people having a favorite content creator with Tourette's, for example, they will use that person's experience as a model to mirror other people's tics by. Fuck you. For example, you'll see comments on videos of people having actual tic attacks saying, well, I saw the Billie Eilish documentary and those tic attacks did not last that long. So if those tic attacks last way too long, that's fake. They don't last that long. Or the other way around. I mean, I saw a video by Jack Francis and his motor tics are far more extreme. He has more tenses up his muscles way more, and this person kind of just flops about. So clearly fake. Again, everyone's tics are going to be different. Everyone's Tourette's is going to be different, and those tics and Tourette's will not stay the same forever. I started this YouTube channel, I think, I don't know, 10 months ago, and the tics I had then were already different than the tics I have now. Tics that I had yesterday, I'll never have again. There are days that I mostly have vocal tics, days that I mostly have motor tics. Sometimes they are quite visible, and days that they are not visible at all. If you go through my older videos, you'll see that in some videos I don't really tic at all, and other days I do. That's normal. So please don't compare other people's tics and use one person's tics or just one thing you've learned from one person with Tourette's as a model to judge whether this person that you only see for maybe 10 minutes at a time during a YouTube video or a streamer to see whether they're faking it. They're probably not. I mean, keeping this up, if it was fake, I wish I was faking it. Luckily, I've not had those comments yet. I probably will at some point. I mean, let's be realistic. But I wish I was faking it, because then when I turn this camera off, this would all be gone. Oh, no, you're not pretty. But I can't. This keeps going every single moment. And most people probably won't be faking it. And I think that's an important thing, that with the fact that Tourette's is becoming more visible, more well known, I think there are more people that feel comfortable sharing their story online, me being one of them. Including people that don't have the stereotypical way of presenting their Tourette's. And Tourette can be a very invisible disorder. You might not even notice it. And I know it's more interesting to look at the people with the more extreme tics and the more extreme tic attacks. But for most people, Tourette can be quite invisible, and it's mostly on the inside. The last comment that I saw it a couple of times, and it just kind of blows my mind. It was something in the lines of, but they are successful. And if Tourette's is really like a disability, how can they do their work? How are they able to sit and film themselves or live stream or do anything like that? I don't know. Okay. Yes, Tourette's can be very debilitating, and for some people that means that they can't do anything. They might not be able to walk, they might not be able to write, to speak sometimes. But for most people, it's not to that extent, and for most people, even if even if their tics are that debilitating, that's not all of the time. I sometimes get stuck in tics and I can't walk for a bit, but you know, that changes after a while, and not being able to walk does not mean that I can't sit in this chair and turn on the camera, right? I mean, it's physically not that demanding. But again, Tourette's is so diverse, and it's so common. Like 1 in 100 people will have Tourette's. Most of them, again, quite invisible tics, and they might have more tics when they start talking about their tics. So for some people, Tourette's impacts their lives so much that they are not able to have a traditional career and be successful in that type of sense. But for most people, that's not the case. There are people with Tourette's that are teachers, CEOs, lawyers, doctors, nurses. I even know a surgeon who has Tourette's, alright? Fuck you. And if you can operate with Tourette's, I'm quite sure you can be a live streamer or a YouTuber with Tourette's. That Not saying that that's live streaming or anything is an easy job. I can't imagine like even doing like YouTube as a job. I think it's stressful enough as it is. But I think we can all agree that like, cutting someone open when you have a neurological disorder, if you're able, if there are people that are able to do that and they are not faking it, then perhaps it's a bit silly to just assume that just because someone has some level of success, they are probably faking or whatever. In general, like the question I want to ask is, why is it so important to go about all these people's work and make threats on different forums and you know, pick apart everything that they say and be like, well, this proves it. They are not really disabled. They're not really, I don't know. They don't really have Tourette's. All of that. Why? Why is that? I find it quite a weird thing to do. Honestly, I mean, I'm generally quite a positive person and I think the best of everyone. And if you are someone that does this, that goes about people's videos and tries to find out who the ones are that are faking it, I honestly want to know why. Why would you do that? Because as someone with Tourette's who is part of a Tourette's community, if you're doing it for us, please don't. We don't need that. Honestly, we're fine. We don't need you to come in and, you know, weed out the bad guys. Because honestly, I don't think you're a bad person, but you're doing more harm than good. Because of course there will be people, and I'm not talking about the guys in the hoodies that were making a mockery of Tourette's, but talking about, you know, people that are fans of, again, you know, Billie Eilish, Sweet Anita, that might be young and pick up Tourette's as a hobby or as a phase. Of course that's going to exist, but I don't think that that's nearly as harmful as armies and troops of people flooding the comment sections of people that are probably legit people with Tourette's that already have enough to endure with it, with people speculating, they're fake. There's no plus side to it. There's nothing you can win with it. So please don't do that. Please stop doing that. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I've been lucky so far that, fuck you. I've not had these comments yet. Probably it'll start now. I don't know. And I think, I mean, I'm alright. I've been expecting them by now. I don't know. I think I don't know what it will be like, but it pisses me off when I see people doing that to my friends or people that I look up to, other content creators getting just flooded with these comments and these weird videos, these reaction videos of people watching hours upon hours of their content, not even liking them, just picking it apart and making half documentaries about you're probably faking it. You don't have to like these creators, that's fine. You don't have to like me, that's fine too. I mean, it's the internet, that's the law of the internet. You can hate people as much as you want, but this is next level. I don't know. I'm rambling now. I don't know. So yeah, what do you think? If you don't have Tourette's, do you find yourself sometimes looking at people and wondering whether they are faking it or not? And do you tell them, if you have Tourette's, have you been accused of faking it? And what does that feel like? I'm really curious to know. Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling too much. I hope you will have a great day wherever you are. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.